Hello, fabulous friends and fans. Welcome to this frequently asked question video. I am your astrologer, Nadiya Shah. Love interacting with you guys on Facebook, Twitter, Google+, my website, nadiyashah.com, and YouTube comments as well. Absolutely try to honor them and acknowledge them whenever I can by giving it a thumbs up or a like or whatever the case may be, however it is, a +1, however it is that I can acknowledge your very generous interactions, your trust, truly so grateful for it. So Kim on YouTube, in the YouTube comments, asked about, she said that, you know, I'm a Leo right now, Leo, Jupiter's in Leo. You said all this fabulous stuff is going to happen, but I don't feel it. I don't feel like good things are happening, Nadiya. What's up with that? So I'm very happy to answer that question. And I'm specifically answering it this week because this particular week, as we're finishing off February, we have Jupiter speaking with Pluto. And then next week, as we start March, we are going to have Jupiter speaking in a super harmonious conversation with Uranus. I talked about that in the horoscope, the weekly horoscope for this week as well. So it makes it a really good time to talk about this. Okay. Most people think of Jupiter as ruling planet of Sag and think of Jupiter as expressing hope and expansion and good luck and benefits and blessings. Yes, Jupiter is all those things. But that really is how we understand Jupiter as ruler of the sign of Sagittarius, which is all about stepping out onto more of the world, exploring and expanding. But Jupiter is also traditional ruler of Pisces. So Jupiter has this other side. Now, I talk about this in my book, Astrology Realized, how a lot of the planets, or pretty much all the planets, not the luminaries, but the planets, have what the ancients called a day sign and a night side. So the day aspect and the night aspect specifically. So now we usually think of the planets in terms of their day aspect. So we think of Jupiter now in terms of its day aspect as the ruler of Sag. But just like every person has this whole spectrum that they manifest who they are, so do the planets as well. They have a whole spectrum of realization along the same archetype. And as ruler of Pisces, Jupiter is about, it's also about endings. It's about closure. It's about creating space. It's about closing karmic ties, ending karmic chapters. It is about understanding that what comes in must also go out. And it is about understanding that sometimes transformation isn't so much about what's happening all out there, isn't so much about, you know, all of a sudden life exploding. But transformation is also about what's happening on deeper, more subtle, more energetic levels as well. When Jupiter moves through your sign, it is always good. So I know when I talk about Jupiter and its night aspect, Jupiter is still a benefic, right? Jupiter is still thought of as a very positive symbol in a chart. And it's also thought of as bringing blessings. However, those blessings come about in different ways. Sometimes they come about in ways that do have to do with what's coming in. Sometimes they come about in ways that have more to do with what is leaving. Right now, as I'm recording this, Jupiter is retrograde, much more likely to bring forward the night qualities of Jupiter, much more likely to bring forward the qualities of Jupiter as ruler of Pisces, much more likely to bring a sense of reflection, a sense of closure, a sense of gratitude of what no longer is. But the thing is that even if the gratitude isn't there, right, ultimately, when you look back, and sometimes it may take Jupiter to, you know, move on, and let's say you're going by your sun sign. It may take Jupiter sextile or trine your sun. So it may take Jupiter moving along 2 years later or 4 years later before you are able to, or sorry, 2 years later, 3 years later, for you to be able to see that lots of good things were happening at that time when Jupiter was in your sign, but you weren't able to see it at that time. And I also do want to say that this is thinking about all else being equal, right? Because your chart is not in front of me. But if you knew your chart, or you look at your chart, or you have me look at your chart, it becomes more about just what's happening with Jupiter. It's not just that Jupiter is moving through your sign, but if Jupiter is moving through your sign, which is great, through your sun sign, but there's other stuff happening with your moon that's more challenging, stuff happening with your ascendant that's more challenging, then it may not always be as apparent, because the challenging stuff is sort of getting your attention. It may not be as apparent that what is happening is good. It may even feel like what's happening is awful. But it's Jupiter. Jupiter is there protecting you. And when Jupiter is in your sign, no matter how hard it seems that things are, no matter how much it seems that things are not working in your favor, I am very much of the belief that especially when Jupiter is in your sign, things are exactly what they're supposed to be, and they're going well. Things are being set up to create greater blessings for you. The other thing that I have found with Jupiter moving through your sign is that sometimes we don't always realize how, and again, in the moment, we think that if things were to change, it would be bad. And we don't realize that actually a certain situation has to leave to create space for the new to enter. So we're holding on to something, thinking it's good, but it's actually very small compared to what the universe has planned for us. I'm reminded, I've seen this in so many people's lives, in my own life as well, how letting go of a dream or something that you hold on to for so long can bring about so much pain. But it's only on the other side, once you get past that pain and you allow like healing to set in, forgiveness to set in, and then you allow happiness to enter, openness to enter, and then something good comes in. It's only on the other side of that, once you're riding that really good energy and you find something that resonates in a way that what you were holding on to so much never did, that you realize that, wow, I really should have been working with the universe a lot more and letting that go. I really should have been allowing that space to take place. That ultimately is part of the learning here. That ultimately is what the universe is encouraging you to do, and how the universe is encouraging you to create blessings and to experience blessings in your life. It's not always how you think, and that's how the universe works. That's part of the mystery. Astrology gives us a glimpse into the mystery, and I do believe, I'm very much of the belief that if you pay attention to your life will tell you which way you're going. Your life will tell you your future. Just like the planets will tell you your future, they'll tell you which way you're going. So will paying attention to your life, to your environment, to your feelings, to what you're attracting. All of this is just another way that the universe is helping you to get more clear with yourself as to your intention, helping you to get more clear with yourself as to your learning, so that you can move towards, and ultimately so that you can empower yourself to move yourself towards more fully embodying greater love and greater wisdom. Jupiter represents this process so strongly. Really, Jupiter is this process in some very significant ways, because it is about moving towards greater love and greater wisdom, understanding that and embodying that much more deeply, and understanding that ultimately that is an energy that is infused in everyone and everything. So, to answer your question, Kim, if you are feeling that good things are not happening, then I would say to you, on the one hand, have trust, first of all. Try to strive to see where it is that actually things are happening that, if you were to look at them differently, actually are really good. And try to see what it is in your life that is attempting to change. What's trying to change? What is your intuition telling you? Where is your life moving you towards? All of these are going to give you clues as to how you can create greater blessings for yourself. But right now, as I said, when Jupiter's retrograde, it's much more about the internal process. It's much more about the endings. So wherever it is in your life that life is asking you to go through that process to create endings for yourself, allow that to happen, because very soon, and especially once Jupiter is direct, very soon we are going to have that coming up in the spring of 2015. Jupiter will be direct in the sign of Leo. That is when it becomes a much more active principle, and lots more new energy can start to find you. But even so, I do believe that good things are happening. You may not necessarily be aware of it. You are in the middle of a cycle that's asking you to allow it to happen. It may take you some perspective, maybe 2 years from now, 3 years from now, for you to look back and say, oh, wow, yeah, a lot of good things were happening at that time, or things happened at that time, which made even greater things possible later on. And if you can embrace that, at least take that worldview, you're going to be that much more quicker to spot the really great things. And as you move forward in your life, you're going to be that much more able to understand how the things that are happening right now are going to create greater and greater blessings for you for a very long time to come. Well, thank you so much, everyone out there. Please do keep your amazing questions coming. Facebook, Twitter, Google+, my website, nadiyashah.com, YouTube comments, and everywhere else. I'm all over social media. So I love interacting with you guys. Thank you so much for your trust. Until we connect again, take care.